Monster Hunter, Persona, The Legends of Heroes, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and the Final Fantasy franchise. Any one of these games, a new entry of them, might show up to the developer direct at the end of the month. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you in another video. Today we're going to be talking about something that Jez Corden kind of put out there, and it's got the streets ticking a little bit. You know, a lot of people like to say Jez Corden gets a lot of things wrong. You know, I see Jez Corden getting more right than wrong. That's just my personal opinion. I don't keep track of everything that he says, but in my opinion, he's right more than he's wrong. But essentially what's going on is there's a mysterious fourth game that we all know is at the developer direct. Actually, let me pop over here so you can see this. As you guys can see right here, this is completely mystery. We don't know what's at this event. They never really done this before. You know, most of the time that I remember, when they are going to show something, you know, unexpected, they just simply don't leave it on there. And they have like kind of like, oh, new thing coming up. They don't really just publicly tell you here that it's there. But essentially what's going on is Jez Corden came out in this article. I'll put it in the description below. And he just pretty much said Microsoft still has have some exclusives to reveal this year, even if some of them are at least timed exclusives. You guys know how I feel about the way that Microsoft's been handling things. It is what it is. We're not going to go too much into that. Microsoft has its Xbox Developer Direct with Doom, The Dark Ages, South of Midnight, and the Killer Absurd Expedition 33. That Expedition 33, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm probably more hyped for that than anything. Hopefully we'll get a release date to that. There's also a mysterious fourth game, and I won't spoil what it is. But our sources indicate that it is a new entry in a legendary Japanese IP which has decades of history and should make a lot of fans happy. Indeed, Microsoft has won some strong support from the region lately from the studios like Square Enix for Final Fantasy franchise and Genshin Impact as well as Persona. It is interesting he brings up these games. Look, we know, I would say for the longest time, we just wanted Microsoft to get these games. You know, I wouldn't even go out there and say that I wanted them to like market them or anything. I think that's a plus. You know, when you link your game to a platform such as Xbox, people tend to look at that more. And then not to mention it makes the relationship between publisher, developer, and console manufacturer better. Obviously, there's no secret that when it comes to a situation like that, when developers are being, you know, kind of, you know, celebrated, you know, we like your game so much, we actually want to market it for you. Obviously, they pay a lot of money for stuff like that, and it really does help, especially with these, you know, smaller indie developers when it comes to, you know, especially Japan, where they don't really necessarily have the money to do something like that. So one thing I want to do is I want to go over what these games could be, because there is a lot of perspective. And, you know, what we're going to do is we're just going to go over some of the comments that people have, because I think this is very interesting. I, myself, thought this was like a Double Fine game. I thought that there was no chance this was the Japanese game, because you guys know how I am. I've been very vocal in the past. Look, if I do know stuff, you'll never know it. You know, sometimes I might hint something, you know, but for the most part, in my personal opinion, these developers, they grind. So you won't be seeing the leaks from me for the most part, you know, obviously. But I won't attack people that do leak, because at the end of the day, it's not the leaker's responsibility to keep that information. It is the company's responsibility to plug in them holes, those leaks. And it's not that, and I think we do too much attacking people that do leak stuff. But that's a different conversation for a different day. So let's pop over here. Let's see what the community thinks is about to get dropped in here. Phantom Dust confirmed. I'm going to be real with you guys. You better. It better not be a new Phantom Dust. Now, keep in mind, it did say in the article that it was a new entry to a franchise, so take that how you want. Neo finally would definitely be interesting. I don't think it's going to be Neo, because that would be saying that Neo 1 and 2 are coming. I think that's what this individual is saying, what Kluk is saying. I think this is a brand new IP. We're going to get into what I think it is going here forward. Vengeful Joe 2. That would be interesting. I don't think it would be that either. I really haven't heard too many people talk about that. Capcom has been kind of, in my opinion, leaning a little bit more towards PlayStation, so I would say that that's probably something PlayStation would promote. But then again, obviously this is a smaller IP. I could see it being Vengeful Joe. I would personally be disappointed if it was me. Ninja Theory. Not Ninja Theory. Ninja Gaiden. That would be interesting if it was a Ninja Gaiden franchise and Team Ninja made it, because I feel like people would vibe with that. A Game Pass announcement. Like I said in the video that this was announced, this event, most likely this game's in Game Pass. I highly doubt that they would put something into this showcase that, because clearly they got the marketing rights. And Microsoft's been mostly very aggressive on, if we're going to market your game, it's going to be in Game Pass. They kind of have to have two sides of the same coin. Dragon Quest 12. I would be really excited if it was Dragon Quest 12. I think Dragon Quest is a phenomenal franchise that I myself need to jump more into. I played the last one, I think it was 10 or 11. I'm pretty sure it was 11 if he's saying 12. And I thought that was one of the best, turn-based games I've played in a long, long time. Spyro, nah. Castlevania or Mega Man? I would actually love another Castlevania game. Mega Man, I could probably live without that. Keep in mind, whatever this game is too, if it is in Game Pass, if that is true, I don't think like a Resident Evil 9 is going to be in Game Pass day and date. Maybe they would go for a game and not have it in Game Pass, but, I think it's about 70-30. There's a chance that they do feel just secured enough to get this game in there, that they're able to at least put it in the service, and it doesn't really matter if it's not an exclusive or Game Pass for that matter. So because it's a Japanese game, I am willing to, outweigh that it doesn't have to be a typical Game Pass back kind of thing. Maybe it is one of those scenarios where they're just happy that the game's on the platform. So I could see that happening too. A Final Fantasy game. I actually have some thoughts on that, but we'll go into that. Resident Evil 9, that would be interesting. Ninja Gaiden, we've seen a lot of those. People really want Ninja Gaiden. Persona 6, that would be interesting. I'm not going to lie. They have been very, very cozy with Persona. Very cozy with Persona. So that would be one of the scenarios where I could see, totally, 100% see them willing to not deal with like a Game Pass bag if they're able to get the marketing rights to a Persona game. That would be intense. That would be intense. Final Fantasy 16. There has been rumors that Nate the Hate said that this game's getting shadow dropped, but it's not a new entry. So the only way I could see this game being there, I think it actually might be. I think there's a good chance that it is there. Maybe it's a Square Enix game. I do know there's a Final Fantasy Tactics remake in play. There's a Final Fantasy 9 remake in play. Maybe they market this game and they say, you know what? We're going to drop 16 right now on Xbox. You could play it right now. So that might be a possibility, but I don't think, because the way that Jez Corden kind of worded it, I don't think this would be the prime game. This would be a secondary game on something that they've already announced. Yakuza, they already have a really good relationship with Yakuza, but because we had that Gaiden game, we had Infinite Wealth, I don't think it's a Yakuza game. So, I mean, that's all we're going to pretty much look for that. Look, what I think it is, part of me wants to lean towards like an unannounced Final Fantasy game. If I got me a Final Fantasy Tactics remake or remaster, or however you want to pronounce that, and then they also, on top of that, say, and you could play 16 right now. Maybe Dragon Quest. I could see, part of me is leaning more towards a Square Enix game, because I do believe Nate the Hate, because I have heard similar stuff, that Final Fantasy 16 is done on the Xbox platform. It's just a matter of when they're going to drop it. So I do think there's a good chance that if Final Fantasy 16 is at this event and it is going to get shadow dropped, I just don't see it being that fourth game. I see an unannounced Square Enix game being that fourth game, and then they saying Final Fantasy 16 is in the store right now, and they kind of add on to it. That's just my opinion on the matter. But if it's not, 16's not there, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I hope it's Persona. You know, at the end of the day, Persona 6, there's still a lot of people that think it's going to be an exclusive to PlayStation just because of Persona 5. Persona 5 was a revolutionary game. People loved that game. To this day, it's reviewed well. It's very, very loved. Microsoft and Xbox have a great relationship with Sega and Atlas. You've been seeing these games come to the platform. You've been seeing these games come to Game Pass. This is the time. Get that Dragon Quest 12 in that Final Fantasy 16. That's a good possibility. But get that Persona, man. Get that Persona 6. Be the place where you see that title. Now, obviously, it's still going to probably, most likely, sell better on every platform. But if anything, if this is true and Jez Corden, has gotten this right, which again, no one's confirmed this, take it with a grain of salt. This does show that Microsoft and Xbox, and especially Sarah Bond, they were going out of their way. They really do want Japan to be more accessible with Xbox. And I'm happy about that. But anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Tell me what you guys think it's going to be in the comment section below. I'm very curious you guys' opinion on that. Put in the comment section below what you guys think it's going to be. Like myself, I would like a Persona, but I think it's Square Enix because I do think 16 is probably going to be here in some way, shape, or form. But I would lose my mind if it's Persona. I would lose my mind. But if it's something stupid, I'm going to be disappointed. If it's something that I particularly don't want, I'll be disappointed, but I hope even if I don't want it, it's still a very covenant game that people love. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. As always, appreciate it. You can always sub to the channel. We make weekly content on here. Definitely go and follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP. Today, I'm going to be streaming Dynasty Warriors Origins on the Addict Arena channel. All that's in the description below. Come through, chill a little bit. I hope you guys have a good day. Peace. Man, I can't wait. I'm actually a little hyped for this event now. I'm a little hyped for this event.